Was working at the White House like Scandal? Did you ever watch Scandal?
It wasn't. It was like, it wasn't. It was some combination of Veep and West Wing. Like, it's somewhere in between those two.
So not as fun as Scandal.
No, I wish.
Was there
Well, as much wine. But, yeah,
as much wine.
wine, but not as much intrigue.
anything bizarre that happened there, or anybody that you saw, it was unexpected?
It was constantly that way. I mean, I don't, like, you're walking through the halls and there's Benjamin Netanyahu, and you're like, you hear this voice and you're like, who is that? I know that voice. And you're like, Netanyahu, and he's like a giant. He's like 6'6". Or I remember coming out of the vice president's office one day and Elizabeth Holmes was there, like now soon to be incarcerated, potentially.
Anyone that you were fanning out for?
Anna Deavere Smith was there once, and I was like, oh my God, hi. Toni Morrison came.
Were you allowed to say hi to guests, or is it like an unspoken rule, leave the guests alone?
It sort of depends. You have to remember, we're there at a time when two of the biggest celebrities in the world live there.
Right.
Right? So there's so few people who came that were more famous than the Obamas. Mm-hmm. And with that, and you're in this build, like you're in the White House. Like
right.
And so they often, there's a couple people who didn't, I will not spill the tea publicly, but the vast majority of people who come there are so in awe, especially of the fact that there's a black president, right? That they are geeking out. So they're excited to meet you. Like I remember Rihanna came and she was like a little kid. She was just so excited. She was like, I can't believe I'm like, this is so wild. And you're just like, this is wild for you. So it's this crazy distortion because it's this hollowed kind of place and this
right.
place of such intense significance. And you're around the Obamas, so you're trying to be cool. So you are allowed to say hi if it's appropriate, but like you're at your job, right? And your bosses are around, and it's like you don't want to embarrass anybody. So you can't like pop into a meeting that you're not invited to and be like, "Hi, I just wanted to take a picture."
Yeah,
like
you can't do that.
Absolutely not acceptable.
Do you think that the White House is all bugged? Like we hear all these things like, oh, the White House is bugged. It's all these, there's secret doors behind paintings.
I don't know. Have you been in the West Wing?
I have not been there at all.
I have not been there at all.
Listen.
So we are living through you right now because you're being honest with us.
The East Wing is really beautiful. Mm-hmm. The West Wing is like so rinky-dink. It's such a joke. Like there's mice. You got like five people to an office. It is, everyone's tired, exhausted, over-caffeinated. Like it's just so not a glamorous thing. And then like the Roosevelt Room and the Oval Office are extraordinary. But so it really is like a very high-low scenario.
High-low, yeah.
Highbrow, lowbrow scenario there, to be sure. You think about how large the intelligence apparatus of America is. It's like, who would even bug the White House? Because then there would be one division who would be mad and like would then find out, and then they would want to bug. You know what I mean? So I actually probably don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm sure there have been attempts over the years that, you know.
Did you believe that, do you believe aliens exist?
Yeah.
Was there any talk about aliens when you were in the White House?
Not that I was a part of, but they wouldn't bring the girl who's like working on minimum wage to talk about aliens.
How do you like restrain yourself from eavesdropping?
You don't.
I would have been like,
you don't. But again, it's just like you can't loiter. Like, everyone, because it's the most heavily guarded building in the world, right? Like there's guards everywhere, and they're just like, "What are you doing here?" Like, ma'am, go back to like, don't you have a job? Take this seriously, you know. But yeah, you're always. I mean, my curiosity was constantly at a 10, you know, and then you very quickly realize how. At least I did. I'm sure other people had different reactions, but I'm just like, I'm not nearly as smart as I think I am. Because you go into some meetings and the way like people are just quoting things and synthesizing information, and they know this and that, and you're just like, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Just like Google.
Yeah.
Like so embarrassing, you know?